Alright, everyone, we are back. Samson here, as always. Getting back into Outer Worlds 2. We are properly nicotined. We're beveraged up. We are under-caffeinated, though, which is not good. But we will muster through it. So where we left off, we talked to this guy. Some crime shit's going on. So we're gonna help him with that, and then we're gonna jump back into the main quest and carry on with that. So let's go see. I don't really know what we're supposed to do with this. But we're gonna, like, I don't know, do some delinquent shit maybe. Or not. So that's just the vendor. Well, that's not good. Looks to be a terminal administrator's code has been written on this scrap of paper. Okay. I did not think a cellar would be much use when I first moved. Imagining a natural disaster occurring in Fairfield seemed absurd. Now we're at war. Even heard it rumored that invaders will attack. Assault will not waver. Answer duty's call. I mean, whatever, you know, whatever. Okay. Guessing that's outside. Maybe it's not outside. Ah, it is outside. Okay.
I suppose it was only a matter of time until we were discovered. Though what an odd thing to die for. Apples. Is that not why you've come? Because you discovered our recent larceny at the greenhouse? The greenhouse's stolen bounty offered a healthy alternative to gorging ourselves on that vending machine poison. Alas, I was spotted on 1 or 2 forays. Starving? Hardly. We have greater stores of strength than you suppose. This hunger is a momentary distraction, nothing more. If you are conniving for some concession of weakness, you will be a long time waiting.
Thought I saw you disappear in here. Oh. Seems I've stumbled into quite the shindig. You lot been hiding out in here all this time? Touch cramped, ain't it?
The guy does seem like a complete cornball in all of the wrong ways, so I would really like to bust his balls in front of all of them.
You've got me there. Nothing enigmatical about a trio of Protectorate stowaways.
The more I listen to you invaders blathering, the more convinced I become of the need to rid our fair island of your wretched stupidity by any means necessary.
Not very copacetic, are you folks?
If this exchange is not to your liking, I can accommodate you with a bullet instead. Spare me your insults. They mean less than nothing coming from the mouth of a corporate pet. I would sever my own hands at the wrist, rather than sign a corporate contract.
I mean, that's respectable.
A generous offer. But we prefer to die in the service of the Sovereign. I will admit, dying like a cornered sprat is not the righteous future the Order predicted for me as a child. But what other option is there? Failure is disallowed. Surrender is treason. You must think highly of your skills to believe you would come out on top during an engagement. But undoubtedly, there would be casualties. Very well. With so many invaders yet to slay, I would be remiss to relinquish our lives in such an unworthy duel. We surrender. For now.
That was some slick talking. Can't believe you got them to surrender without firing a shot. I thought for sure we'd have to blast our way out of here. Guess I had this mystery all wrong. Small part of me was hoping... Nah, never mind. It's downright foolish.
I mean, I'm gonna judge. 100%.
I lost a friend in the invasion. A good friend. Thought maybe all this was her trying to send me a message of some kind. Like I said, foolish.
You know what? I already want to, like, when I finish this, I already want to go back through and just do a playthrough where I pick the absolute most unhinged, like, on the nose answers to all this dialogue.
She was. Yeah. Oh, that feels good to say aloud, even if it hurts too. Romantic entanglements ain't exactly encouraged between troopers, especially in the same division. Supposedly compromises our decision-making in the field. But I digress. Thanks for your help, and for listening to my languishments. Glad someone else might remember her now, too.
Alright, well, that was kind of underwhelming. Oh, hey. Got one of those things, though. That's cool.
Why do you linger? Do you enjoy watching us so abased?
Yes, but I don't even know what that word means. Alright, well. Onward. House, red trim, circle windows. Alright, let's go engineering. And then let's do... Well, that'll give us an extra rank. Yeah, let's do that. Alright. So now we know... Ooh, ugh. Now we know where her house is. Red trim, circle windows. So it's this one. Alright. Portier post. Don't need to tell you, every member is vital. Small. Alright. It's not unheard of for one to sustain injuries. This is your shattered femur. This can be traced back to overindulgence in Pride vodka. Understandable misconception does not demonstrate a subject's pride. Fortunately for you, there's been nothing but superlative. Sorry. Recent irregular behavior has been overlooked. Not plagued by my predecessor's lack of character.
ask him if she can put an Earth Directorate symbol on her wall after everything she's done.
Yeah, I don't think there's really anything else here. Time to look around. We did. What do you mean? Ah. Fitting. Submerged tracker. Tracker appears to have been surgically removed and submerged in liquid inside this container in an attempt to disable it. Fortunately, it was still producing a weak signal. Your last missive stung me in my core. Can't believe you'd accuse me of such. Yes, I'm still in contact with Victor. Schism between the Protector and the Order is of no consequence. We are decidedly not, whispering poison in each other's ear. I can assure you the dark path you accuse of us going down is of necessity. Never burdened you with knowledge of things I've done. Therein lies the rub. Find I can do so no longer. Time for actions come. With a cliffhanger ending. 6th chapter, one way or the other. We are hurtling toward conclusion. Something. Wow. Regardless, my time on Paradise Island is over. Can you say you never burdened me? You've never shared specifics, but that doesn't mean I didn't feel your suffering. Invasion of Paradise is driving us all. Levels of despair. It's pushed you to a place of madness. Begging you. Forget that void damned cereal and whatever it is you're planning. Please come see me before you do anything. It cannot be undone. Hold up in the Order Chapel. Maybe because it reminds me of better days.
My cover story has worked. I am safely ensconced at the Vox station, assigned to the lowly Information Input and Retrieval Department. Seems a colony so certain of its absolute control over its subjects can be less than rigorous when it comes to security. I was able to easily widen out a space behind the walls of the main control room to establish my safe room, giving me unfettered access to the communication transfer conduits. I have hacked into their system downstream from the security protocols, so I am able to infiltrate their entire system with them being none the wiser. While I have little doubt as to the success of our mission, trepidation still gnaws at me. Though I cannot say why. Perhaps it is simply the normal mission commencement jitters. I thought my duties complete. Information gathered, reports filed, preparations made. I'd even created a fictitious identity and work transfer to Horizon Point Station well ahead of schedule, in order to keep anyone from tracking my movements upon commencing the mission. All that was left was the waiting. Or so I thought. Then, troubling information came to light. I've seen the numbers. I've seen the equations. While I don't understand all of it, I understand enough to know it is the truth. And I am the only one in a position to act upon it, though it means the betrayal of my team and the duty I swore to uphold. But can I? I did it. They are all dead. And I am still alive. I had not expected this. I had prepared no alibi, and so felt assured my ruse would be discovered and I'd not have to carry this burden. But the complete gullibility of the Protectorate subjects cannot be underestimated, it seems. My threadbare excuse of my grievous wounds as pitchball injuries was accepted without question. I can only keep telling myself it had to be done. Something which becomes harder by the day as the rift anomaly grows in the sky. But it was all part of the plan. Wasn't it?
I can't believe this. Void me if I understand any of this. DeVries sold us out for what? Because of a few equations? Some dots and lines on a graph? Good fucking law. I mean, she wasn't a damn scientician. She said it herself. She didn't understand all of it, the math. So what was she thinking?
Addition. What a word.
No. No. You didn't know her. Not like I did. Like I thought I did. Damn it! I never wanted to talk about this. I wanted to just leave it alone. Told myself, no point in dredging up the past. Should have known it wouldn't rest. DeVries may have saved me on Triangulum, but I wasn't the only one looked up to her. Lots of the other recruits talked about her too, back at the academy. Y'all thought she was the pinnacle of what an agent should be. Tough, smart, ain't a job she couldn't get done. And better and faster than everyone else. Inspired all of us. Reckon so. Somewhat embarrassing how much worship we all put on her name. You put a tool in my hand, I would have built monuments to her. Figured my own career could be just that. Doing for others what she done for me. Never imagined I'd actually get to work with her. Me, some nobody from Triangulum. And then she betrayed us. Tried telling myself it was an accident, but now we've got the cold, hard proof it wasn't. Law only knows why she trusted the Order's numbers. The Order of this Sin is just another sect of the Order of Scientific Inquiry. The Grand Plan and all that used to be part of the Protectorate before their big falling out. Believe they can predict the future or some such, but nice plan-abiding folks don't kill for the betterment of their cause. I can't believe the Order plotted our murder. But 10 years ago, I would have said the same about DeVries. I mean, she always struck me as so pragmatic, real sensible-like. Never figured she'd go all in on predictions from a bunch of monks. Maybe. She seemed tore up about the choice after the fact. Guilty. Not sure if that makes me feel better or worse. I don't take issue with folks clinging to whatever keeps them afloat. Math, science, the grand architect, void, even capital. I know how most colonies run. But when those beliefs start to require hurting others, even killing them, that's worth questioning their virtue. No, didn't even know DeVries was alive until she brought the satellite down. Until then, what kept me going was mostly training and stubbornness. And Val. But to your point, Holding someone who's wronged you accountable for their actions ain't an act of vengeance. Some might call it justice. Right after we get answers. Whatever her plans, she started putting them in place while stationed undercover at the Vox Relay. Our next point of order ought to be getting in there. Reckon there's got to be someone on the island who can help us with that. Let's keep asking around. Friendly like.
Alright, so the order is like just some kind of cult. Got it. Noted. Alright, well, let's go. Where is... God, I don't remember where anything is. What is this place? Well, this is interesting.
Would pulverizing them suffice? No, I couldn't liquefy them. Apply heat and congeal them into kibble no beast could resist. Oh, Ethel, darling, you're a genius. Oof. Approach with less haste next time, won't you? Copernicus may be tame, but he still doesn't take kindly to being startled. I am Ethel Tinsley, chimeric scientist. I'm responsible for taming this delightful raptidon here. He will protect our fair town from his feral brethren in the wilds. Theoretically. Officer Carr has been in a state waiting for me to train the raptidons to, maul on command. It's rather pressing, and alas, one scientist turned tamer can only do so much. One might say I'm perhaps a bit on edge. Folk here have grown weary, shall we say, with the war effort. And with avoiding Carr and the minister's would-be fisticuffs. No, I don't believe it is. That's what the Protectorate announcers wanted us to believe anyway, before Auntie showed us the truth. No, this is quite abnormal, I'm sure. Anyhow, all I know is that if they were to begin working with each other, the mood in town would certainly be merrier. Or something akin to it. Well, I was a subject once. Despite my talents, the plan dictated that I should be relegated to programming cleaning mechs. Bah. But then, Auntie's choice came along and offered to transform our lives for the better. I chose to accept. And look where I am today. Over the last year, I have climbed the rungs of my division through the sheer merit of my work. I have finally earned the respect I was always due. Poor things. They either fought to the last or chose to flee. It's regrettable, but some folk just aren't ready to embrace change. All they knew was being told how to live. They couldn't imagine any other way. Ask any of the other Protectorate subjects who converted, and they'd echo my words. When one can allow their ambitions to show, that is true freedom. Why do you assume I had anyone I could consider as such? My parents returned to the Void long ago. No siblings, no children. I am the sole bearer of my name. As for friends, few cared for a janitor who talked to herself and preferred her books to praising the Sovereign. Couldn't possibly understand what it's like to be seen as nothing. Then finally be afforded the opportunity to prove your worth. In any case, I do hope I've satisfied your curiosity. The war effort and liberating the rest of the Protectorate waits for no one, you understand? I would never imply such a thing. I'm sure the Minister and Officer Carr have only our best interests at heart. Though I must admit, their continuing quarrels give me trepidation. I'm unused to the way things are done here, I suppose. The Protectorate leadership never behaved in such a manner. The fact is that those two never got along particularly well, even under the best of circumstances. One wishes to woo Protectorate subjects to our ranks. The other wishes to secure a decisive victory with weaponry and technology. As for which approach is best, I wish I knew. Very well. I ought to focus more on my work than on social tensions anyhow. I work directly with Officer Carr and her soldiers to ensure they're outfitted with the best Raptidon counterparts Paradise Island can provide. In theory, they'll be trusted to guard our most precious assets, including our leadership. For now, they deter encroachment from wild Raptidons. It's most agreeable. Trust me, they are safer here than out in the wilds. I have been reprimanded thrice now for undue pampering. I would not be here if this experiment was still causing needless suffering.
Let's keep your lamps lit for wildlife.
Hostile wildlife. Familial classification of Raptidon. Detected ahead. Emergency.
Each companion has a special ability, can be activated once charged. Each companion ability is unique. Taunt enemies, burst of damage, or heal you.
Rolls ready.
Let me know when you need. I'm the one you need to worry about. Hey, got a distraction for you.
Might I have a word, Commander?
Well, at least you waited until it was over.
I know I've been pushing to find DeVries, so this might seem a bit of a left turn. But void it. I'm just gonna ask. Got an old friend here on the island. The doctor who patched me up after Horizon Point. Ex-Protectorate, a good man. Tracked him to Westport a short time ago, but never got up the nerve to visit. Reckon we could drop by and pay him a visit. Brief one, of course. I had some bad years on my own. Now with you here being part of a team, this might sound a mite soppy, but I feel like I could be a proper agent again. That starts with writing accounts. This friend of mine, Zebulon Tran, I let him down. And I've been chewing on that live wire for a while. Too long, maybe. After I recovered from Horizon Point, Zeb and I ran together for a spell, doing what we could to help folks in difficult spots. Fighting Protectorate tyranny in small ways. Too small for Zeb, as it turned out. He was unhappy before I showed up, and after, well, all my Directorate talk fired him up even more. I had my orders. I was to stay low, Couldn't let the Protectorate catch wind of an Earth Directorate agent in its midst. But Zeb, he kept pushing to take more extreme action. Wasn't like I didn't want to take things farther, hit the Protectorate where it hurt. But I still had my cover to think of too. I couldn't risk disrupting the mission. All the more reason the Earth Directorate needed someone in the system keeping an eye on things. Luckily, Val and I survived. I'd feel better about that commendation if things hadn't turned out as they did. We worked hard, but the Protectorate's arbiters and sentinels worked harder. Often than not, our help only made targets of the folks whose lives we were trying to improve. Didn't matter what we did. Arcadia was still caught under the Protectorate's boot. Guess some of what you said way back when stuck. All that talk about putting people first. Figured that's what I was doing, putting a stop to all the pain I was causing. Anyway, things weren't good. Zeb and I couldn't find the rhythm we had before. We were arguing every day. Eventually, cutting ties just seemed for the best. Clean like. Only later I learned Zeb hadn't given up the struggle like I assumed he would. He got to stay in mental refreshment for his trouble. That's the last I heard of him, till recent. If it weren't for Zeb, I'd be in the ground. It's a debt I never properly repaid. Plus, I don't relish his last memory of me being a vanishing act. I owe him better. And since finding you, well, a lot feels possible now that didn't before. Much appreciated, Commander. Promise, I won't be making a habit of pulling skeletons out of my closet. Westport's on the east side of the island. I tracked Zeb to somewhere on its outskirts, but never got up the nerve to visit before now. We ought to start there.
All right, well, now that that's out of the way.
Feels good to be back in the saddle, don't it, Val? Kind of reminds me of our days in Nix's orbit, dodging Protectorate patrols. You remember that?
Error. Memory not found.
This
Oh,
stretch
well.
runs between Fairfield and
That's
the
all
Eastern
right,
Forward
Val.
Opera. Ever read the
I'll
Middle
just have to
Manager
do the
Handbook?
remembering for both of us.
Really shores up the foundation of your fundamentals.
We're closed.
Okay, but the door was open. You look pretty open to me, bud. Meanwhile, I just steal all of her shit right in front of her. Wherever Ascendant strives to demonstrate the truth of the universe, purest of mathematics, universal equation, perfect mathematical expression, all existence. Through its calculation, Things are possible. As knowledge of the equation grows, approach the ideal state of ascendancy. Become one with the universe. Yep, that's the word. It's the architect of being. The terms in a formula. Abstraction. Mathematically perfect energies. Spawn the universe. Honor the 0 point of the grand plan. Let's give thanks to the architect. Yeah, that is some culty shit. Where do I sign up?
Did you not hear me? This place is closed. No learning today about how everything happens according to the obscure calculus of an indecipherable plan. Why are you asking? Who are you?
The people she tried to kill.
By the architect. I had no idea. I wish I could say it was unbelievable. I was afraid she was becoming a danger to herself and to others. But this is horrifying.
Yeah, imagine how we feel. Why don't you tell us where she is so we can make sure she ain't being a danger to herself or others?
And how are you going to do that?
That ain't something you ought to be concerning yourself about.
If you think I'm going to help you do what I think you're talking about, you are deluded. It is of no matter, regardless. I do not know where she is. I haven't seen her since before the corporatists invaded the island. I'm afraid she's going to do something terrible, but I just don't know what. Maybe none of this would have happened had I not introduced her to Victor. How did... You saw her terminal, didn't you? Victor's an Order archivist. We were all friends for a time. But then, shortly before the schism, they started talking to some others inside the Order. That's when things became tense. I started to become uneasy, scared, really. She kept getting angrier with the Order the more she worked with Victor and her other contacts. On top of everything else, it became just too much for me. Among other things. For some reason, she was obsessed with the cliffhanger ending of Chapter 6. It was the one where capitalist fanatics brought complete destruction upon Arcadia. But you know how it works. It was somehow miraculously saved at the beginning of the next chapter. Didn't matter to DeVries, though. She just kept going over it and over it. Would have talked to a Crabble about it if there was no one else to listen. That, and the invasion itself, set her mind to dark things. I begged her not to go down that road again. She was so agitated when I first met her. Must have been 7, going on 8 years ago now. She never slept, didn't talk to anyone if she could avoid it. After we became friends, she began to change. Still bothered her from time to time, but I thought it mostly behind her. I couldn't watch her go back to how she'd been. Or worse. We became friends when she... well, she saved me. I'd said something without thinking. Must have been distracted. We all know to watch every last word we say. For some reason, she interceded on my behalf with an Arbiter. And she convinced him he didn't hear what he actually did. No one does that. Void, I didn't think anyone could. We all were, originally, before the schism. But she never gave it up. Even when it became illegal to even mention their name. Which was surprising with how angry she seemed to be getting with them, even as she was deep into scheming with Victor and the others. She even continued to sign her messages, "See you in the equation." It's all so confusing. What do you mean? It was where she worked, one of the Protectorate's communications hubs. She didn't speak of it much, at least to me. She may have spoken to Victor about it.
She ain't the only one.
It's difficult to explain. She spoke about things in unfamiliar ways. I felt her words to be freeing, at first. But slowly, I began to feel unmoored, doubting everything I ever knew. She said learning the truth of things was worth it. But now I question whether her truth was just more of her penchant to sow chaos, no matter who may be caught in her schemes. Some days I wish I'd never listened to her at all. Others, I can't help but miss her. Even with everything.
Know a little something about that, too.
I did try to. Once. After the corporatists invaded Paradise Island and took over Fairfield. They seemed to let anyone in there. Some boisterous fellow even tried to recruit me. Yes, and I am ashamed to admit it. Though if she hadn't wanted me to, she wouldn't have told me the code. Same one she used for everything. 15-778.
That is Agent DeVries's identification code, Commander.
She said it had some meaning from her previous life. I'd hoped she'd left something for me, but the safe was empty. No. But it had to be someone's fault, right? The Protectorate couldn't possibly have failed to safeguard the colony. And they had to answer the accusations the Order leveled at them. I know I've no right to ask this of you, but when you find her, please remind her of who she used to be. She's unwell, but I know there's still hope for her. That's all I can ask.
Apparently missed finding journal. So that's cool. I feel like there were some options left on the table there. Get some, you lose some. Alright, so essentially this chick figured out what math was and it made her lose her mind. Fair enough. Let's do the thing. I can't say no to a good side quest.
Careful of friendly fire if you head down past the farm. Last time we wandered past, they opened fire on us. A real code 472. 472 means they're gonna fill anything that moves full of holes.
Noted.
Scout, report.
Yes, sir. Looks like the repair center is still out of order, sir.
Excellent. At ease, Scout. Glad to hear that they haven't managed to repair it, even if Command has temporarily put the actual fighting to a stop.
guessing those things are harmless. The hell is this?
There must be at least a few usable parts in here. Aha! Ah, it's warped. Just like everything else. Hello there. You wouldn't happen to have found any usable parts in all this debris?
You mean debris, sir.
Westport's stockpiles of replacement parts are nearly depleted. I need to find some parts to convert some of our auto-mechanicals, non-combat parts. Fortunately, there's nothing here that's salvageable. Auntie's bombs sure take their toll, don't they? Let's just say to fill Westport's needs. If you follow the road heading north, you can't miss it. Used to be a sight to behold, but the war hasn't been kind to it. To any of us. True enough. A few years ago, I couldn't have imagined us running short of anything. And now here I am, digging through scrap for parts. But I digress. Was there anything else? Need to get back to my hunt, you understand? Unless I missed my guess, this looks like it was transporting damaged and malfunctioning automechs from the Vox station to the Automech Repair Center to the south of here. The center is... Say, you don't work for Auntie's, do you? This is beginning to feel more than a little like you're digging for intelligence. Fair enough. As I was saying, the Automech Repair Center is south of here. Regrettably, subjects of Westport no longer have access to the repair center, hence my need to scavenge. Yes and no. The bombs certainly took a fierce toll, but I suspect these were all in various states of disrepair even before Auntie's offensive, which has made sorting out where to begin my efforts here rather difficult. There should be a manifest somewhere, but it's nowhere to be found. Nor are the troopers who should have been escorting this. Or their bodies. These were stalwart defenders of the Protectorate we're talking about here. Not the spineless stumblewits that comprise the forces of Auntie's choice. No. Some other unfortunate fate has befallen them. Could have been any manner of terror brought upon us by Auntie's. Likewise. And please inform me if you happen upon any usable parts.
Alrighty. Oops.
There must be at least a few usable parts in here. Aha! Ah, it's warped. Just like everything else.
Okay, well, I can't do anything more with that, so... Carry on.
Huh. Well, at least it's not shooting the water anymore. Visitors, huh? Just meandering about, free of any appointed minder? Not so sure I ought to be speaking with you. If you need someone to talk to hereabouts, I suggest you seek out Vigilant Hogarth. That tall, stately building back yonder is his domicile. Do hate to come off impolite. If you're so inclined, we can pick this up later, after you two confabulate. Word to the wise. despite what you might hear, we still consider ourselves part of the Protectorate. Anyone spots an outsider engaging in misdeeds might just open fire.
Man, all these fancy words are really making me feel dumb.
The paradigm epitomizes the pinnacle of social order. Why? Because the matriarch
Everything, literally everything I own is underwater. What do you mean? Everything we have belongs to the Sovereign. We own nothing. But surely the Protectorate will provide anything you need.
Of course they will. Doubt is a tool of the enemy.
didn't have the firm benevolent hand of the Sovereign to guide them. Here on Eden, we all enjoy the full luxury of paradise.
Well, it's infected. Redstone arrives soon, we'll have to start cutting. You walked in here under your own steam and appear reasonably free of cuts, burns, or weeping lesions. So, I assume you're presently devoid of mortiferous injuries. Good. Because we've got more of that than we can handle. You haven't heard? When Antes invaded, they broke the seawall. Flooded nearly half the town below, where most of the domiciles were. A number of our subjects drowned. Others got concussed, or even crushed. A few were electrocuted or exposed to caustics. Took a while for our water purifier to catch up, so some drank tainted water, which is not good for you at all. I'm glad it's working again.
Shame.
All right. Well, don't let me keep you.
My body is covered in burns acquired in battle during the attack. The only relief I have is when I can jump in the water and float over my former house.
You can't fight contentment.
Of course, it's part of the Sovereign's plan. He floods our houses, which makes more habitat for fish, which offers us more to eat, which gives us the strength to build new houses. But then, how do I cook the fish?
Not that way.
It is my esteemed pleasure to welcome you to Westport, once a shining testament to Protectorate excellence, now a picturesque example of the evils of corporatism. But where are my manners? We do not have much, but please let me offer you some victuals. Tut. I insist. Serving Unit 1. Something for the visitor at once?
Confirmative.
Perhaps you're wondering why I'd open my arms thusly for a stranger. Simple. As the guiding light for humankind, we always put our best foot forward, regardless of circumstance. I believe something still can be done. This town can be saved, its people given a reprieve. were we to acquire the one thing vital to our existence: automech parts. What?
Comestibles served.
We of the Protectorate pride ourselves on our mech programming. Among the Vigilant, it is even considered something of a sport. We are not miracle workers, however. Without parts to work with, we've no hope of remaking our mechs to do tasks beyond their initial functions. We need repair mechs, domestic mechs, not combat ones. Serving Unit 1 here is about as much as can be accomplished without replacement parts.
Because she recognized it as the perfect ecosystem. The native flora and fauna, the pleasant atmosphere, and rich...
We are of like minds. We lack not the skill to do so. Our wily chief mechanist can reprogram the mech, but not without parts. Unfortunately, we lack ready availability of said parts.
A meticulously designed marvel where, if each of us does our part, produces glorious...
Oh, you failed to hear the loudspeakers on the way in? The announcement we're obliged to repeat incessantly. Well, allow me to paraphrase. Protectorate law finds us guilty of treason on account of letting Westport fall prey to Auntie's Choice saboteurs. Well, obviously, we've forsaken our duties as members of the Protectorate. It is incumbent upon us to fight to the death, yet we still live, as does our enemy. Now, either the Arbiters arrive to execute us, or this place falls under the vapid boot heel of Auntie's Choice. No matter who wins, we cannot sustain ourselves here for long. These fine and decent folk don't deserve having their lives thrown away on account of my failures. If I can return the settlement to a reasonable facsimile of its previous glory, sufficiently functioning by employing mechs reprogrammed to repair and rebuild, the Arbiters might see fit to penalize only me, commute the others' sentences, allow them to maintain things around here in the spirit of continuity and such. Hence my use of the term reasonable facsimile. I owe it to every single person here to try. What sort of payment do you seek? Don't imagine we have much you need. Enough to lead and inspire those who work there, once at least. I was previously the ranking vigilant on this island. Why do you ask?
Throughout history, human societies were constantly out of balance. Individualism ran rampant. Depletion of resources and lack of community led to terrible suffering. Poor dears didn't have the firm, benevolent hand of the Sovereign to guide them. Here on Eden, we all enjoy the full luxury the paradigm affords us. A perfect life of
Difficult place to saunter into. Stations off limits to anyone without the highest security clearance. For anyone lacking reason to be there, it's assured suicide. In exchange for the automech parts we need, I can provide you means to get inside. Never dream of such a proposal in days of reason and quietude. Yet such is the here and now we find ourselves in.
to rightly appreciate it all and thank the Sovereign.
Wonderful. My unavoidable march to the gallows feels lighter already. At least now my subjects will have a fleeting chance. The parts can be found at the Euphoria Coast Automech Repair Center to the south, but do not, under any circumstances, tell those stationed there why you need them. To get inside, you will need an access pass from the Ministry of Accuracy. Since we have all been marked as traitors, I cannot create one for you here. Farewell now.
So, we have another option for getting in. And I kind of feel more obliged to work with this guy.
If each of us does our part, produces glorious
he's obviously opposed to Auntie's choice, which I'm cool with. So, are we in here already? I think we were in here already. Yeah. The store's locked, which is probably like his shit. Oops. Oh, we need lockpick 5. Damn, dude, like it seems like we're just like super underleveled for everything we come across. Alright, let's go take homeboy to his buddy.
The Matriarch and Sovereign chose Eden, the perfect ecotope, as our home, and devised the paradigm as a great way to maintain it.
Why are his lips purple?
Appeared right out of the aether, just as I imagine our proud sentinels do. Like, here I am, your innermost thoughts are known to me, and nobody once hears from you again. Caught me reciting passages from a beacon to the cosmos, illustrating my steadfast fidelity. All subjects prosper under the guidance of our beneficent ruler, the Sovereign. That part always hits me directly. To quote my personal log, an essential passage, rightful and true. Charlton Weintraub.
What the fuck? Yeah, what's with the purple, dude?
Did I? Not again. Oh, this? It's a birthmark, skin condition, both, about which I am rather sensitive, thank you very kindly. Say, you are every bit you seem, yes? Thoroughly on the up and up and in no way a hidden agent? It is widely known that a sentinel is required to stand revealed before rendering judgment. Why, a plot point about that featured prominently in the latest episode of I, Red Cloak.
Of course you believe everything on the Aetherwave. I guess it would be stranger if you didn't swallow the propaganda, even if it does take some heavy dramatic license.
Say now, no need to get tough. You saw through my ruse, fine. Others in Westport fail to perceive my true nature. I am hardly one of the herd around here. A reference you'll no doubt recognize from those keen Auntie's Choice commercials. I am not familiar, though that does sound like one of their products. I refer to the ones for Purple Berry Crunch brand cereal. You likely guessed their influence right off, what with my assertive attitude and all. I laugh at danger. I hand make my own luck. That character is a revelation. You and I are just like him. Get up and go-getters. Say, did Auntie's Choice send you here? Don't fret. I am exceedingly skilled at keeping secrets.
Clearly you're not.
You cannot hide the truth from me, for I am too savvy. Now, do tell, what is the latest word from the field? Of course. Toodaloo.
What the hell was that? Jeez.
Doing your job with pride. Keep informing on your neighbors.
I inhaled so much dust and debris during the attack. Still hurts to breathe.
For now, just to offset any minor disruption.
Almost missed the routine certitude of my assignment.
with life support.
I mean, I don't think you have to destroy these, but like it seems like a good idea.
This looks like the place. Oh, I haven't felt this high strung since Horizon Point. Just hope he's here.
Let's hope he's not dead.
Niles.
Howdy, Zed. You look... well.
Has my mind been set upon by shadows? I thought you dead.
Can't imagine why you think that. I've only been gone 4 years.
Oh, back from your little saunter then, are you? Head all cleared? I must say you took quite the perambulation. I hope you didn't wear out your rotation adapters.
Zed, this is the commander I told you about. One in charge of the Horizon Point mission.
Ah, yes. The same commander who nobly ordered you to leave your colleague to perish under rubble. No. I only dealt with the bloody aftermath. So, you are keeping company these days. Just not mine.
This guy's kind of a dick.
Hang fire, Commander. Look, I'm not just here to gas you up with empty apologies. I want to set things right between us.
Oh, now you want to help. Where were you when the war happened? Or when I was being carted off to mental refreshment? Where were you when I actually needed you?
I know I let you down before, but give me a chance to earn back your trust. There must be something I can lend you a hand with. I know you haven't given up the fight.
I haven't the time to patch your bleeding conscience, Niles. I'm in a situation that demands my full attention.
It's Baines. My team's been caught. Pharaoh and March are dead. Protectorate are holding the rest for interrogation. A ship is inbound to take us off-world, to the Consul himself. I barely managed to evade capture. Damn it! It looks like the data went through, but there's something wrong with the connection. The cipher isn't transmitting.
Found her! You there! Step away from that terminal at once!
Audra! Fuck! It's all coming apart. That was one of my operatives. I organized the mission to infiltrate the Vox to acquire valuable intelligence. But obviously, something's gone wrong. Without that cipher, the intelligence is worthless. But I'm more concerned about my people at the moment. If you're sincere in your desire to help, prove it. Rescue my friends before that ship departs with them on board. Please.
I am. Without question.
Okay. If they're sending a ship,
That means my people are being held on the Vox's landing pad. Use my call sign so they'll know you for an ally. I'm certain Niles remembers it. And do exercise discretion, as well as caution. The guards at the Vox won't hesitate to fire upon you, should you be discovered.
Not to worry. This is exactly the sort of thing we're trained to handle.
Yes, but the uniform doesn't stop bullets, as I'm sure you recall.
Good thing we know a doctor then.
Then let's hope the ship also takes its time arriving, and that my friend's pain threshold withstands any attempts to soften them up for the Consul. I'll answer what I can. If you must know, it was my sister. A neighbor reported her for some misconduct and she was taken to be refreshed. I never heard what her alleged crime was meant to be. The woman who returned was nigh unrecognizable. The injustice of it rattled me. And once I began to look into what had happened, the more discomfort I felt. Then I met Niles. He told me the truth about other colonies. Made Arcadia feel so small, claustrophobic, repressive. And my smoldering resentments became a full conflagration. Stop there. I know what you would ask, but I've done my best to put that unpleasant experience behind me. Please respect my wish to avoid reopening closed wounds. The Crabbles? They keep people away who might otherwise stumble into my operation here. I feel kindly toward them. Ah, of course. Hogarth and his unfortunate charges would be top of mind if you've explored the nearby settlement. I sympathize with the plight of those in Westport. They want nothing to do with me, of course, or anyone outside the Sovereign's grace, which has been to my benefit. I do believe that one day, the truth of the Protector's iniquity will be too obvious to ignore. But for now, not even a crowbar could pry open all those shut eyes.
Right, and we're just stacking on the nonsense that needs done. So I think that's gonna do it. Obviously the next stream will be next Saturday. So the 13th. Go from there. That one will be 8 o'clock. Just 'cause it's kind of a time that works for me. It's not too late. So, but yeah, that's where we'll pick it up. You know, as always, anybody that popped in while we were live, thank you. I appreciate it. And anybody and everybody watching this back after the fact, you know, appreciate you taking a look, taking the time watching. Again, you know, it's a dialogue heavy game, so I'm just kind of letting the game do its thing and enjoying it, which has been super cool and fun for me to just kind of play a game and not have to worry about, you know, rambling through it or anything like that. So I'm definitely enjoying it. I'm enjoying the game, and we'll keep it going next Saturday. I'll see you guys then. Later.